welcome back to Hide and Seek with Kocnuni. I'm your host, Shannon. It is so nice to see all of you guys again, and we have a really special episode for you today. We're in a really amazing location in Suwon. This place is called the Hwaseong Gate or Janganmun Gate, and it's part of this palace here behind me. You guys can go ahead and check it out. This is a palace where the kings and the royal families used to live, so it's extremely awesome that we get to be here today and get to find and look for hide and seek with Kokuni. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Here's our opening card to tell us a little bit about where we are. The Suwon Hwaseong was a palace built by the will of the 22nd king of Joseon, Jongjo, in 1796. It's not only picturesque but has a high value as a cultural property, as it is registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So a little bit of fun fact about where we are today. This is actually a world-renowned recognized UNESCO Heritage Site. So really amazing that we get to be here today, and I hope you guys are going to be able to enjoy it with us. So as you guys can see behind me, it's very picturesque, but we have another view out this way as well. If you guys look direction, go see Seoul, way up there. This place is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, just outside of Seoul by the train. So it's a pretty easy train ride here. Didn't take me too long to get here today. So Kocnuni has us on a new adventure as always. And we always have a job to do, you guys. We're going to be looking out for Kocnuni. So without further ado, here's our first hint card. Shannon, in the Suwon Hwaseong, there is another viral location called the Haengridan-gil. And the first hint card is in a Hanok cafe on the second floor, located in the Haengridan-gil. So that should more or less mean like a Hanok-style cafe on the cafe street. So we're going to go ahead and take a look for that as well. As you guys can see, it's a little bit cloudy, a little bit rainy here today, so we're going to do our best to stay dry, but in case it rains, we might pull out an umbrella. So let's go ahead and get going. So I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorite things to do in Seoul or outside of Seoul, or just in Korea in general, is to go visit these palaces. They're really amazing, and just being able to see like the architecture and the structuring, it's amazing. And you can really see the detail on this Hanok style roof here. On the edges, you can see where they had like the hand detailed painting with the flowers and stuff. We've mentioned that a couple times in some of the previous episodes, but it's one of the things that I enjoy the most for sure. Be careful when you guys come through here. It's not very big, so make sure you guys are looking out for that. Like we said, this is a two-part like gate or so. There's two names for it. The first one is the Hwaseong Gate or the Janganmun Gate. So one of them is on one side and the other one is on the other one. This is the Janganmun Gate, and then this one is the Hwaseong Gate. So you guys can take a nice little stroll here. We're not the only ones with the same idea today. There's a lot of people walking around. Despite the weather, it actually does feel pretty nice out here, so I hope you guys can see it. And the view, as always, is amazing. You guys can go ahead and check out the palace from this side as well. Super beautiful. It's one of my greatest hopes that Kocnuni brings us out here a little bit more often. Like I said, in future episodes, we will be able to go outside of Seoul a little bit more. So really looking forward to that. And yeah, let me know in the comment section how you guys are doing today. Drop your country flag as always. Let me know where you guys are at. Wow, I really like the location, very traditional. Yeah, me too. I really hope that we're able to do some more of the traditional style, like travel episodes. So let's see, what else you gotta say? This place seems magical. This is the first time I saw directly inside of the Hwaseong Fortress. Ah, very good. So you guys might have heard about this place before. It's actually quite popular for certain K-dramas and stuff. If you recognize this place from any K-dramas, drop it down below and I'll give you guys some extra brownie points for that one. Are there any fortress guards too? I haven't seen any yet. I don't think this particular fortress has any. But if you guys go to Seoul, there are a little bit more traditional places that you guys can visit where they do occasionally have guards that show up sometimes. I love the old palaces. It makes me feel like I have to come back in time. Yeah, me too. It kind of feels like you're stepping back into traditional Korea. And a little bit more about this place, you guys. It was built by the will of the 22nd king of Joseon, Jongjo, in 1796. So this place is quite old, very culturally relevant. And this is actually my first time in Suwon. Suwon is a halfway point between Pyeongtaek and Seoul, so you guys can easily come visit here if you want to get a step outside of Seoul but not be too far away. So it was built by the king of Jongjo of Joseon. So we're gonna go down these steps. I'm not really sure where we are. Like I said, it's my first time here today, you guys. So I haven't been to Suwon and I'm not super familiar with the area, but I do know that we're looking for a Hanok style cafe. I'm seeing some Hanok style roofing that direction, so maybe that's kind of where we should be headed. I'm not really sure. But if you guys have been to Korea and you have a favorite traditional place that you like to go, or if you've been to any of the palaces, one of my favorite places is the Gwanghwamun Palace in the middle of Seoul. It's very big, obviously, and it's a major, major tourist attraction for obvious reasons. It's situated right in the middle of Seoul, and it's kind of in between these two mountains, so it's actually so locationally beautiful. And all around there, you guys can try like the hanok, or yeah, hanbok. There we go, not hanok, hanbok style dresses and stuff like that. So when my mom came to visit, that was one of the first things that she wanted to do. So we definitely took advantage of that. And if you guys go to visit any of the palaces, I highly recommend it. It makes it feel so much more authentic and really immersing yourself in the culture as well. So hopefully you guys get a chance to do that as well. How are you doing in the comments? The air is a bit cloudy. Yeah, it's really cloudy today, but it's not cold, don't worry. It's actually like pretty humid in Seoul. So although it's cloudy and the sun's not really out, it's middle of summer here and it definitely feels like it. Perfect to experience wearing a hanbok. Yeah, I went to the Cheongwade, it was amazing and they opened it for visitors. Oh, that's very cool. I'm glad you got to experience that. Yes, I really want to try hanbok and go around the Hwaseong forest. Yeah, I highly recommend that as well. We weren't able to do hanbok today, but maybe in a future episode, that'll be something that we get to experience as we go along. Like I said, right now we are on the Cafe Road, so Cafe Street, and we're surrounded by a lot of little cafes everywhere. But we're looking for one in particular. This one has to look like a hanok style, so traditional kind. I actually quite prefer it. There's one in Hongdae that's quite popular as well. Hopefully you guys get to experience that if you ever come to Korea. We get to talk a lot about different areas outside of Seoul, but inside Seoul as well, there's a lot of those different neighborhoods like Hongdae, Gangnam, Itaewon, all kinds of places. So you guys will be able to experience some cultural spots here and there throughout, but you can always make sure you take a look out for that. How away was the floods over the weekend? Ah, very good. So for those of you that don't know very much about the weather in Korea, we often have monsoon season this time of year, which is periods of really, really, really heavy rainfall, which is something that you don't really have to worry about in the States, or I'm not sure about Australia, but I imagine it's similar. But here, it can be kind of problematic. I know last season, it was super, super bad where like the stations were getting flooded and stuff. But this time it hasn't been that bad. So I'll keep you updated on a recent news story in a little bit. But without further ado, I think we've kind of approached this Hanok style cafe here. This one is Unyu Yeol. So I think we're gonna check it out here. You guys can see right here on the top, this is written in Hanja, I believe. So this is a very traditional style one, and I guess we're gonna go check it out. So this is Cafe Unyu Yeol, I believe. So let's go see inside what we can find. Traditional Hanok style cafe, here we go. Oh, it's beautiful. It must be relatively new. 안녕하세요. I think it must be relatively new because it smells incredible. You can see they're kind of blending a traditional style Hanok cafe as well as like more recent. So it's done very beautifully. All right, so I think Koknuni, as usual, wants us to try some of the things that they have here in order to get the next hint. So let's go ahead and take an order. 네, 안녕하세요. 혹시 유누 라테 하나랑 수제 호두 크림 치즈 하나 네, 주세요.
준비해드릴게요.
네, 감사합니다. All right, so we're gonna go check it out. I think we're gonna go take a seat in this front room out here, but they also have a little patio out back, so you guys can take a look. This is one of those traditional like aspects that you'll be able to find pretty often in these cafes that we have here. They have a little outside seating area, which is so beautiful, as well as a little inside patio where you guys can hang out as well. So let's just take a seat. Let's hang out down here for a little bit and let's just see what we can find. We're gonna have a little talk, little kiki chat with you guys while we're waiting for our order. So I ordered the signature latte that's from here, as well as the signature dessert. So you guys will be able to take a look at that. And hopefully we'll be able to find our clues soon enough. Again, guys, this is called Unyu Yeol. This is one of the cafes here, and it's really, really beautiful, and I'm enjoying it. So while we're not having super heavy rainfall, let's go ahead and talk a little bit today. See what you say? Wow, this place looks historical yet modern at the same time. Yeah, like I said, some of these more new cafes, they like to blend some of the traditional aspects as well as some of the more modern kind of things. So immediately when you walk in, you're greeted by these really pretty like marble floors and everything. But again, it's all Hanok style as far as like architecture. So it's super, super beautiful. All right, let's see what you guys got going on. Record-breaking heat wave in Europe and the US too today. Yeah, I think this is the 4th or 5th day in a row where we've had record-breaking heat for the season. So I think that's worldwide. It's been incredibly hot here in Korea, and one of the things that doesn't help is typically the humidity is quite strong as well. So it's been definitely a challenge here. 아, 네, 안녕하세요. 오, 감사합니다. Kocnuni gave us our next clue. 네, 감사합니다. So here's our next clue, you guys. Shannon, the next hint card is with Daejanggung inside the temporary palace of the Hwaseong fortress. Oh my goodness, they're really getting me with the Korean today. Haengung temporary palace literally means a temporary palace for the Joseon monarchs to stay. So it looks like we're going to get to see a couple more of these culturally relevant locations today. Really looking forward to that. But without further ado, we've got some stuff to try here. We've got the signature latte as well as the signature dessert, so we're going to go ahead and give those a try. It looks like we've got some cream cheese, some hodu, which means walnut, and if I'm not mistaken, that is persimmon, which is a really popular summertime or fall dessert here, and it's fruit as well. So feel free to try that, you guys. This looks so beautiful. I feel like I should take a photo. Let's see, what else you say? True, I saw the news. It was really tragic with the recent flooding. The deceased souls may they rest in peace. Yeah. From what I've heard, we have had this big news story recently where there was a giant flood inside one of the tunnels nearby. So really, really praying for all of those families and everybody out here. I have been very lucky not to have too many issues with the flooding thus far, even though I did recently move to Gangnam, which, like I stated before, last year was flooded pretty badly. But this year seems to be being handled a lot better. Maybe they've put some infrastructure in place to kind of prevent that sort of thing. But there are some problems. The flooding is definitely not limited to Seoul or surrounding areas, but yeah, we're gonna pray that everybody makes it through that, okay? Is it a fusion of traditional and sweet? I don't know, I haven't tried it quite yet, but it does look really good. Is this yakgwa? Yes, it is a yakgwa in the middle. This right here, you guys, is one of the traditional little desserts that you can get really often in Korea. It's called yakgwa. It's like a little honey cake. It kind of looks like a flower. But again, this is one of those little traditional Korean desserts. So I've never tried this before. I'm really interested to see how it tastes. And without further ado, let's give it a try. Oh, it's cold. Okay, so it's like frozen persimmon with walnut and cream cheese inside. Really yummy. Hi, everybody. Wow. That is so good. It's really refreshing. It's actually quite cold. I'm really enjoying that so far. Let's see. Daejangmun is the Korean historical figure, right? I really like this K-drama. The English title is Jewel of the Palace. Very good. Well done. So you are exactly right about that. That is the name of the K-drama that is filmed in this location. And a lot of these traditional spots are very popular for filming, especially for those historical dramas like Tale of the Nine-Tailed and stuff like that. It's not necessarily just this one, but there's a lot of locations that are similar where they do take advantage of the historical relevancy and they try to film it for some of those dramas. So very good. I hope all the flood victims are healthy and well and get the best help. You and me both. I'm curious on how the yakgwa will taste with the coffee. Oh, that's right. We have to try the coffee as well. I don't think I've seen a latte quite like this before. This one's layered really uniquely, and there's it looks to be walnut on the top. This is becoming like a mukbang today, but can't say that I mind. I love getting able to try all these new desserts and stuff. Let's give it a good mix. Give it a try. Oh my gosh, it's so thick and creamy. We'll see. You want to try the yakgwa too? Yeah, so for those of you guys that are curious, this yakgwa here, the flavor of it is more or less just like honey. I remember when I first came to Korea, that was one of the first desserts that I tried, and I really liked it. And my mom really enjoyed it as well. She had one of the warm, bigger ones that you can get in some of the sijangs. Sijang is the Korean word for market. So some of those traditional markets where you can try tteokbokki and hotok and all kinds of those street foods, that's where you can get the bigger yakgwa as well. The coffee looks yummy. Korea is always known for their cafes. Is it dalgona? I don't know. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm honestly not the biggest latte person, but I think when we were visiting Ikseondong the one time, it was my birthday, I think, that episode, we tried one of the most delicious matcha lattes that I've ever had, but this is a close second. I'm typically more of a black coffee kind of person, like Americano, but you gotta give Korea credit where it's due. They do coffee and cafes better than anywhere else, at least in my experience. I like the Korean street food. Yeah, me too. I think probably my favorite Korean street food, as basic as it may sound, would probably be tteokbokki. So tteokbokki is like the spicy little rice cakes that you get, and it's usually mixed with gochujang, among other things, a little bit of sugar as well. Sometimes there's cheese and meat in there. Super good, really warm, and for those cold days or those gloomy days, highly recommend you guys give that a try. Let me know if you guys have access to tteokbokki where you're from. Where I'm from originally in North Carolina, we don't really have those sort of foods. So I always love getting to share that with people whenever I go home. I always try to take some of the Korean food or some of the cup noodles and stuff like that with me. I also don't like latte, black coffee all the way. Seeing you enjoy a latte, maybe later I'll order a latte as well. You should do it. Coffee makes us feel refreshed. Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna talk a little bit more, you guys, while we're waiting for a little bit, and then we're gonna go visit the Hanggung or Hanggung. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this one. I've never seen this word before, so it's a learning experience for me as well. We've talked a lot about some Korean words while we've been here today. So we've said about hanbok or hanok style. As you guys can see, we've talked a little bit about that before, but that prefix word han typically means something Korean or traditionally Korean. So you guys will be able to kind of get some new vocabulary words today. We've also learned yakwa, which is the little snack that we have here. Have you tried going to photo booths? I've heard this a trend nowadays in Korea. Yeah, you're definitely right, especially in areas that are popular for touristy stuff, such as Hongdae or Gangnam. There's photo booths like every 25 feet or so, so it's really fun. I think actually this past weekend I went because I have a friend visiting from Taiwan, and he really wanted to do a photo booth, so you can go to different ones, and they often have like those crazy little hats, or you can try on fun, fancy like sunglasses and stuff like that. Some of them even have photo booths that are different colors or different angles. Like I've been to one in Hongdae where the camera's on the floor, but there's also a camera on the ceiling, so you guys can get a different perspective. Perfect for those little Instagram stories or a fun little memory with your friends. I particularly have this interesting tradition that I do. I don't really know why I started doing this, but I have a memory box in my house, and I've been filling it with those photo booth, like, I don't know how you would say, like the photo booth squares since I came to Korea, but my habit that I do is I always have the people that are in the photos with me sign the back of the card. That way, no matter where we all go in time, we'll have that memory to share forever. So, little fun fact about me, not that any of you guys asked, but I really enjoy the photo booths as well. I like getting a lot of new insights and vocabulary from this program. Oh, very good. I'll try my best to incorporate it a little bit more if I can. Yeah, here in my country, Korean foods are common, but in the frozen goods and canned ones, yeah. I will say, I feel like there's a lot of duplicates that are frozen or canned, but nothing beats the actual street food. So if you guys come to Korea, that's definitely one of the things I want you guys to try probably the most. Shannon, sentimental queen. Thank you, Koreanet. It's true, though. I feel like it's important to keep up with those people and stuff and, you know, have those memories to share. Yes, I tried yakwa before. It was delicious with hot tea. Yeah, that's really good, especially if you're not feeling well. Hot tea with yakwa is always a great option. So without further ado, I don't want to waste too much time. We're going to still try to find Kocnuni today. So let's revisit that recent clue that we had. We're going to be visiting the temporary palace. Do you guys remember the name of the temporary palace? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to have one more sip of my latte, and then we're going to go find Kocnuni. Excellent idea. Very popular, the photo booths over there. All right, that was super delicious. So let's head out this direction. Yeah, so we're going to exit our beautiful little garden area here, and we're going to go see if we can find the temporary palace. Try not to get wet. And here we are, stepping outside of the traditional Hanok-style cafe, and we're back into the Suwon area, which is where we were filming before. And we're going to try to find the Hanggung, this one here, temporary palace. So you guys can check out this word a little bit more. I think if it was written in Hangul, it would be a little bit easier for me to pronounce. Sometimes the romanization isn't always quite right. So if you guys are learning Korean, try your best not to rely on the romanization. It often can mess up your pronunciation a little bit. So I highly recommend you just learn Korean and try to learn the original sounds and stuff like that while you guys are learning. Let's see, Hangung, your bag is cute, thank you. I always try to incorporate some sort of like sunshiny element. Like my, one thing you guys will notice is butterflies are kind of my thing. We've talked about this in previous episodes, but I've got my butterfly earrings on and I got the sunshine on my bag because we don't have it in the sky, so thought it might be nice to carry it around with me today. We have a small prepackaged Asian food section in the supermarkets here, very good. Oddly enough, Nathan, I know if I remember correctly, you are from Australia. I was just visiting with a friend of mine who has family in Australia, and we were talking about that, the accessibility that you have to Korean foods or other Asian foods as well in supermarkets all around the world. It is pretty common in America to have Asian supermarkets or even just like Koreatown, Chinatown, like these sort of hubs for different types of Asian cuisine. But where I'm from in particular, I'm from the countryside, so we don't really have a whole lot of access to that kind of thing. But luckily, the internet is very convenient, and so is Amazon. Also, I live in Korea, so I don't really have to worry too much about it. Oh, this is cute. Homemade donuts and brunch. Little Western vibe today. So like I said, you guys can see a lot of different stuff that we have here today. This little area, like I said earlier, is called Cafe Road, or Cafe Lane, I guess. So there's all kinds of things. It looks like there's churros here, Western style brunch there, poke bowl place there, so even some Hawaiian mixed in. This is really interesting, and probably one of my favorite things about Korea is these little cafe gils, or cafe roads, are pretty common. There's almost one in every single neighborhood. You can find them in Gangnam, Incheon, Hongdae, a little bit everywhere, so I quite enjoy it as well. Temporary Palace is the place where the king and royal families retreated during a war. Very good. So you guys are also, I feel like we're having like a little discussion in the comment section about some of the traditional elements, which I don't know everything, but I think that's probably my favorite part about this show is because I get to learn right along with you guys as we go. But you are exactly right. This is where the kings and queens or royal families would go to retreat during times of war or for any other reason, if there was like illness or something like that. So very good. That's where we're headed today, which actually don't know which direction we're supposed to be going, but I am enjoying exploring just this little cafe street here. This is quite fun. So let's take a look this way. I think that's the main road. So let's go down this way. We're reaching into like a little residential area here. It's quite cute. I'm enjoying it thus far. Me too. I find romanization a bit more confusing. I prefer reading Hangul. Yeah. And sometimes it does really help other people. I think, in my opinion, for those of you that are interested in learning Korean, I think romanization is very helpful at the beginning, but you'll quickly learn as you start to read and get more into like vocabulary and stuff that the romanization isn't always correct, and sometimes it can actually cause mistakes in pronunciation and stuff. So just be careful with how much you guys rely on it. It is a different language, so there's slight tonal differences and different sounds. So I encourage you to listen to Korean speaking a little bit more if you can, and try to mimic those sounds as opposed to following the romanization as well, always. I really want to walk on the streets of Korea. You should, girl. Definitely come see it. Korea's just, it's so full of life, but it's so full of like different vibes. You can pick a direction and the vibe is going to be different down every street, and that's one of the things I love the most. And that's part of the reason I moved to Gangnam, actually. Not only because it's a little bit closer to my work, but also because it's just a different vibe. It's a different energy in general, and I like to be able to switch it up and try out new vibes. It's quite peaceful, maybe because it's a work day. Yeah, it's a Monday, so something that you guys might not actually know. Typically around the world, at least in my experience, Sundays are the days where people take a rest, and oftentimes they'll have businesses that are closed. But here, it seems to be Mondays. I don't know why, but some of my favorite cafes and stuff happen to be closed on Mondays. And I gotta be honest, sometimes it's a little inconvenient because if it's a Monday morning, I need my coffee and I wish it was open, but everyone needs a period of rest. So it's typically Mondays here. Before moving to Gangnam, where did you stay? I think I am lost. But I stayed in Hongdae before. And before Hongdae, I lived in Songpa, and before Songpa, I lived in Gangdong-gu, which is like to the right of Jamsil. So I don't know if you guys know much about that, but yeah, I've lived quite a few places in Korea so far, but Gangnam is definitely a different vibe. It's a lot more like business oriented, so the pace is a little bit faster. Hongdae was really fun. I'll leave it at that. It was fun. And then Songpa was very residential and kind of sweet. And then the Gangneung area was a little bit more rural, so not a whole lot of foreigners. And I think for me it was the most difficult to live there because that was where I lived first. And like I said, there wasn't a lot of foreigners. There wasn't a lot of how can I say? There wasn't a lot of resources for English speakers and stuff like that. So I think at first that was the hardest for me, but if I went there now, it'd be a little bit better. My experience might be different. But so far, Hongdae is my favorite, but it's only because I've lived there the longest as well. I'm really enjoying Gangnam though. It was my mom's favorite neighborhood that we visited when we did come, or when she did come to Korea. Me and her went to Itaewon, we went to Hongdae, Jamsil, and Busan, and then we also went to Gangnam, but she said Gangnam was her favorite, so take that for what you will. I think cafes close on Monday because the weekends are crowded due to people's rest day and no classes. Yeah, it's probably a smarter business move for things to be open on a weekend or something because they'll be able to make more money that way. But I will say, Mondays are hard. Oh, this is so cute. You guys, I am loving this area right now. This is so lovely. So go ahead and take a look, you guys. We are back here again on the cafe street. You guys can see there's a lot of different vibes, different cafes. There's a photo booth right there like we were talking about earlier. And I think I'm seeing some of that like Hanok style tiling this way. So I think we might be getting close. Ah, wait, there, look, Hwaseong. Can you look up? Right there. Right up here. I think that's our clue. Hwaseong Haengung. So that's where we're headed today. We're gonna be trying to find that. And I think it's quite really a sign pointing us in the right direction. So let's keep moving, see what we can find. I don't see it quite yet. This definitely still looks like a cafe heavy area. So as we walk through, you guys can kind of take a look and decide which one is your favorite. And then hopefully we'll bump into this soon because we're running out of time and we have a Kocnuni to find. Do you prefer Myeongdong or Hongdae? Ooh, great question. Typically, I would say I prefer like the Myeongdong area. It's a little bit more of like a blend between traditional as well as modern. And then Hongdae, I would say, is more for like your college age kids, like where people go to have fun, let loose, kind of have like a little party vibe for sure. Was that a church? Yes, that was a church behind us. Okay, keep moving. Kocnuni likes coffee very much. Yeah. I think Kocnuni is almost as much of a coffee addicted person as I am. So it's definitely interesting. But I gotta be honest, he always shows me a cool cafe like the one we went to earlier. He tries to give me like a unique dessert experience or something like that. Oh my goodness, I hope we're getting close. There's so many cafes. What is this one? And it's gum? Yeah, sorry about the noise, you guys. Getting a little bit more busy as we get down here. Some construction, some cars going up and down the street. Gonna try my best not to get hit by one of them. Do the colors in the road have any meaning to it? Great question. I did notice that when I first came to Korea. It's like the signs and stuff on the road are different. Like there's one part in the main intersections where the lines are like zigzaggy. And as someone who misses driving and enjoys driving a lot, that was quite confusing for me actually. I'm not sure what the blue represents, but I'm sure that there's a purpose to it, either that or it's for decorative. And I enjoy that as well. You have walked a lot today. Yeah, we usually walk a lot when we do these, but I can't say that I mind too much. I like being able to get out and move around a little bit. I quite enjoy it actually. What's your favorite Korean snack? Ooh, snack? Hard question. Yakwa is a good one, but I would also say like I prefer when it comes to snacking, like something a little bit more savory. Not much of a sweet snacky kind of person because I'll very quickly go overboard. So if I do Korean snacks, I'll end up going to like a bakery or something. But with that being said, my favorite bakery item recently is called sogumpang. Sogumpang. Tell me if you guys in the comment section know what that is. It's something that I'd never tried before. I didn't have it in the States, and I didn't even know about it in Korea until recently. But if you guys know what it is, drop it in the comment section. It's quite good. No need for the gym today. Do you like mint chocolate? No, I don't like mint chocolate. I love mint and I love chocolate respectively, but I don't prefer mint chocolate. I think it tastes like toothpaste. Except Girl Scout cookies, thin mints. That is the only exception. Or New York peppermint pouties, but I think it's because it's dark chocolate, so it's not super like minty flavor, not super sweet. You guys are saying no. Oh, very good Koreanet. Sogumpang, that's right. So it's typically like this little salty bread, Danishy experience, but it's quite good. So you're getting a little blend of like that bread soft texture, but also something salty and buttery. So I definitely prefer more salty. Perhaps that's the American in me, but I think Korean people prefer sweet more traditionally. Is it the bread that you've tried on the live broadcast a few weeks ago? Yes, you're correct. I think we tried that one when we went to the beach. We did like the bread mukbang, and that was one of the ones that I tried. It was quite delicious. So here we are, you guys can see behind me, there's this gate back here. And you can see there's also some of those traditional Hanok style structures. I'm curious to know if this is more of like a burial ground or if this is more of the little place where the kings and queens used to stay. Haengung for the word, those of you that are just now tuning in or looking for the Korean word for it. I love mint chocolate. The taste is so unique. No, it's okay. If you like mint chocolate, I have no beef. It's okay. I totally understand those of you that do. I just personally don't. Oh, look. Again, Korea with the photo spots. Ding. Instagram, is it Insta-worthy? Pew. I don't think so. Maybe not this time. I'm really loving all these cafes that we're seeing out here. These are so unique. I like how they're all facing this area as well. I think it's really lovely. All right, guys, we have 9 minutes and I have to find Kocnuni and I don't even have my next clue. I don't know what we're gonna do. It looks like I've arrived at the temporary palace. Yeah, it looks like it, but I don't know where Kocnuni could be. Maybe we need to find the entrance. So it looks like we have a map here or representation of it. It kind of shows how it's developed over time and what it looks like now. So it has like a little from 1980, 1996, 2000, 2000. Representations of what it looks like. This looks like a map of the overall size of the palace. Doesn't really tell us where we are right now, but based on this, I would say we're here-ish right now. Can't be certain because it doesn't have like a "you are here" pin, but just a guess. So we're gonna keep walking around, I guess, until we can find an entrance. And as we walk, you guys can see right here what I was talking about. It's sort of a timeline about what it's been looking like over time. So this was what it looked like in 2018, and then we're slowly going to walk back in time so you guys can see. Kocnuni is really trying his best to hide from us, I know. He's got me walking around today. Usually he gives me like 5 or 6 good clues about where he is, but today it seems like he's trying to be a little bit more elusive, giving us like 2 or 3 instead. So I think this area is actually under construction at the moment. I'm not exactly sure where Kocnuni wants us to go, but he definitely wanted us to get a little bit of a historical view on things today, which I definitely appreciate, especially because I've never been to this area, Suwon. So this is really interesting to me. I've actually heard quite a bit about it. It seems to be very popular where people who want to live outside of Seoul, they typically live here. It's really nice, it's kind of residential, a little bit more quiet, but it's also close enough and convenient enough that it's nice for people who live here. So maybe I'll come here more often. I really like it so far. Maybe Kocnuni was feeling adventurous today. I think he feels adventurous every day. It doesn't seem like a day goes by where we don't do something a little crazy. I will never get over Kocnuni making me go ziplining. That was still probably my most favorite thing that we did. Sure. He's always well hidden. Yeah, that's true as well. So it looks like we're approaching a park here. And based on this, it says temporary palace, the Hwaseong Haengung. You guys can see there's that little directory right there. So we are getting closer. Believe it or not, we've been walking around quite a bit, but we're getting closer as it comes. So we've reached this little archway, I think, where it's not letting cars go through. This is more left into the park. And I bet in the springtime when there's flowers blooming that this would be absolutely gorgeous. So I really hope you guys get to come visit and check out this area. Check out Suwon. As always, I encourage you guys to get outside of Seoul a little bit and go see some of the other areas and stuff that they have to offer. Maybe I'll hang out here a little bit. Check things out. Oh wow, this is lovely. I can kind of see. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or if we can't show because there's too many faces. But down here, I can see the entrance to the Hwaseong. Keep forgetting the word. Hengun? Hengun. Yeah, the Hwaseong Hengun. I'll get it. See, I'm learning right along with you guys. Takes some repetition sometimes, but I do think the rain is starting to pick up a little bit, so we might need to break out an umbrella here soon enough, but until further notice. Alleyway is so lovely. It is lovely. So here we are. I think we've reached the opening to the Hengun. So you guys can check it out with me. This is quite an open area. I'm really enjoying this so far. Yeah, it looks like we've got some structures blended in with some of the modern as well over here. So this is a really diverse area. I'm enjoying it a lot. And like I said, it's about an hour outside of Seoul. It's not too far. So just a quick train ride or bus ride or whatever, you guys can get here pretty easily if you're sick and tired of the hustle and bustle. Here we are, but where's Kokuni? I think this place is actually closed. There you go. Check that out, guys. So here we are, we've approached the entrance and we've officially reached the Hengun, which is the temporary palace where King Kokuni can come take a bit of respite during war times or during times of difficulty. And sorry, I just got so distracted, I saw a really cute dog over there. There are significant differences between Chinese, Japanese, and Korean architecture. And one of the things here, you can kind of see they take the sloping of the roof. Right there, it's supposed to kind of represent like movement. From what I understand, at least, I'm not super proficient in my Korean history as far as architecture, but I can tell you that. Oh my goodness, this is lovely. These giant doors are always so beautiful to me, but go ahead and check it out, like overlooking the scenery. You can see that there's some burial ground and stuff up there as well. Some little villages, different areas where you guys could co-view. This is reminding me one time of did one of the hide and seek episodes with Kocnuni, where he had me going all around the Hanok village to try and find him. So this is quite reminiscent of that, but it's awfully quiet here. I feel like I'm being too loud now. And here we have some statues of maybe what some of the traditional attire would have looked like. You guys are so active in the comment section today. Whoa. Hey girl, you mind doing me a favor and telling me where Kocnuni is? No? Nope, but she did give me a clue. So let's go ahead and check it out. I am the Jangnakdang of Joseon. It's where King Jongjo of Joseon celebrated his mother's 60th birthday. Okay, so now we're gonna be looking for a place where you can celebrate a king's birthday, a king's mother's birthday. So very specific clue that we have here today. And like I said, they are tripping me up with the Korean. I do apologize for my pronunciation. I promise to work on that and improve that. These are ones that I have not seen before, so these words are new to me as well. But this one is Jangnakdang of Joseon. So it's where King Jongjo of Joseon celebrated his mother's 60th birthday. Wow, this is lovely. Check out this rose sculpture here. That's absolutely beautiful. All right. And as usual, you guys, there is some Hanja written all around, as you can see. So if you guys know anything about these traditional areas, there is a lot of Hanja, which is the original iteration of the Korean written language. So a lot of times you'll see it like this, and if you can't read it, it's because it's not Hangul. But like I said, and there's also some informational stuff here. So let's see what this one says. This one is called Three Ways. So it's a gate with 3 different entrances, from what I understand. And I do see some people over here. It seems like they are paying respects or meditating, more or less. So I am going to try to keep down my volume a little bit. But we only have a couple more minutes and we have to go find Kocnuni. So I'm going to try my best to walk around and find him quickly without making... Oh, 어떡해. 어떡해. Maybe this way? Kocnuni, where are you, buddy? Aha! I see him. Dun, dun, dun. Kocnuni! We found him! Hey, buddy. Nice to see you again. So we are not allowed to go up anywhere, but I think maybe over here would be a nice place to take a seat, talk about some of the things that we saw today, and then of course we have a winner to announce for For those of you that are new to the program, we do a gift card giveaway at the end of every episode. For those of you that are participating actively in the comment section, that means asking questions or leaving comments, thoughts, things like that. I'm going to try to find one of you, preferably somebody who's relatively new, just because we want to keep it interesting here. All right, let's see. And the winner is San. I'm not sure. Hera? San Hera. Congratulations! Take a screenshot, follow the prompts underneath in the comment section, and we will get you that gift card right away. Seems like we're running a little bit out of time today, you guys, so we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any suggestions, drop it in the comment section, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye!